In this lesson, we go ahead and add overall refinements to our face. So we're going to have a couple lessons here where we just add a whole bunch of changes to our face and really try to understand what it is that we're missing here before we get back into it. And start changing things like asymmetry, the eyes, all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking at these reference images and I'm just kind of searching for things that are different from my sculpt than are on the reference. So I saw this little indentation underneath the cheekbones. You can clearly see a nice bit of shadow from the cheekbones there. So I'm adjusting the shape of the face. I'm going to adjust this chin here, and specifically the skin coming in underneath it. And as you can see, now it's going to be minor changes, a lot of minor changes that are sort of going to add up and get us to where we need to be in order to sort of continue our likeness project. So I'm really not satisfied with the nose quite yet, so I'm probably going to be working a little bit more on that. It's just kind of bothering me a little bit, but for now, I think it's important for us to just look at anything else that might be distracting us, maybe like the neck here, and just kind of get away from it for a second. Really home in on some of these things that I think we can improve. So you can see that I might have made the lips a little bit too thin, or too thick, sorry. And I want to just adjust them accordingly here. Sort of get them ready for the asymmetry that we're going to be adding eventually. Getting them sort of in a comfortable position. And the nose here is really going to be the biggest problem that I have, because if you look at this reference on the right, it's almost like it's super flat, right? But if you observe it really closely, it's kind of rounded in the middle, and I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing some side planes. I'm seeing it very cubish, like, really strong plane on the front and then two strong planes on the side, and that's what you'll see me working on right now. It's just I haven't quite deciphered what this nose is supposed to look like. And, that is one of those things where even though you can have plenty of reference, sometimes, you need to have the person in front of you, or you need a whole bunch of images of just the nose to really understand what's going on. Because what's going to happen here is I'm going to follow the lighting, right? I'm going to match the lighting. So you see how I have the same line sort of shining on my nose that there is on the reference? So that would be correct, right? But the problem is when you flatten something out like that so much in order to manipulate the lighting, you kind of mess up any other view that you have. So it's a really tricky thing to adjust. So the nose here is one of those challenges that we've just got to overcome at some point, but we'll definitely get there. No need to panic. So again, if you're following along with the same reference, if you're doing somebody else, just don't be discouraged. And if you're having trouble looking for something specific on the face, just try to search for more reference. It's the best thing to do. Reference is key. Everybody uses it, and if you don't use reference, then you really are doing something wrong. Unfortunately, you can really have a mental library. You can really be very good and use very little reference, but end of the day, you need to have something to base yourself off of. You need to just have the correct shape available for you to look at, because you might be doing it wrong. In any case, adding the nasolabial fold here, very important detail. Just filling it in with a little bit of clay. And as you can see, it's a very delicate process. And I can see that nose is a little bit sharp, but try my best here to work with the polygons. I probably should have dynameshed it, but in reality, we're going to be getting pretty close here to zero meshing it ourselves. So I don't think we need to change this dynamesh anymore. In fact, we haven't even divided it really, so you can see we're getting a lot of mileage out of it. And, you know, if you didn't notice that, you know, it's just one of those things. You really don't need to subdivide a whole bunch. If you get a decent looking amount of polygons, you can really mess with them to get exactly what you want. You just have to, you know, be patient with it. But here you go. See, this is what I'm saying as far as I didn't realize that the nose is supposed to be, you know, rounded at the tip, so it gives us a little bit of a problem. But overall, it's not too shabby, I think. And you can always go back to your reference. Again, just always go back to it. And now, you know, just looking at it, it's I can definitely see that I had a lot of difficulties getting to that shape, but right now I'm really close, I think, to how the nose is supposed to look. Admittedly, this face is going to change a whole bunch when we add asymmetry to it, but I'm really liking the nasolabial fold here. Young men are going to have just that little sharp pull of the skin that you see on the corner there, and that's really important for me to get right. But really, the symmetry of everything is starting to break it for me. But looking at the profile images, you know, just checking it out, seeing if I can really square off the face, it's really going to get us there at some point. So don't be discouraged. Like I said, we've come a long way. We're still really far, but we're going to get there. Do not despair. And I did want to say that you're probably going to see a jump in the next lesson here. So I'm going to stop it, and I'm just going to continue to adjust it. I'm probably just going to dig in the eyes a little bit, do a few tests here and there, but the model is going to be very much unchanged. I'm probably just going to play a little bit around with the eyes. And overall, you know, you should take this time to work on your model for about an hour or so, an hour or two, just looking for these little things that you think could be changed, still maintaining symmetry, but everything that you can add that makes sense in symmetry, now is the time to add it. And once you do that, we'll go ahead and skip ahead a little bit here and really start focusing on the nitty-gritty of getting this face to look better, which is going to be asymmetry. You know, we're going to have to talk about redoing the topology, reprojecting, all that kind of stuff. So make sure that from this point on, you guys are ready and you've committed to it. You know, you're ready to get the sculpt to a final state. So let's stop it here, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.